Hey there, folks. So, last episode we were trying to fix some problems with our load game logic. That the way it's set up, it doesn't work for dev testing within, say, the third person map that we're using. And I had gone through and tried to set this up here, and this isn't working. This is failing. So, the persistent level is not set to what we thought it was. So, what I'm going to do here, though, we've got get world, get streaming levels. So, what does that return? That returns, so for auto L, believe that's going to give me what we want. L name, get F name. Okay, so I'm not recommending doing this for the purpose of your game. This is just so we can actually step through and see if this is going to provide us with that information we need. So, actually, I don't need this in here because we figured out that issue is the constant. So I'm going to drop out of the editor here. And this should be really quick to rebuild because we just made a code change in the source file, not a header. Now, I had mentioned at the end of last episode I was hoping this would fix it because I do want to try and get this set up in a way that the ability to use like the third person map or a test map works for your load and save as well. But I can't guarantee this is going to work because this is something that was, like I said in the last episode, brought up as a bug reported by, one of the subscribers, one Mad Gamer. And part of it I fixed, but this part here, I'm not sure if it's going to be fixable with the way I've set up this load game logic. So we'll give this a shot, though. We're going to actually just hit 9 here to load in, if that works. Register an editor. Okay, 9. Okay, so there is no streaming levels. Okay, so that is not what we wanted. Get world. Let's see what options come up when we just have level. Get active level collection. Okay, this might be the one we need here. So I'm going to copy that over. We know this doesn't work, so nope, we don't want to do that there. We want to do that here. And if this does give us what we want, actually, I'm going to refactor this because I'm just thinking of a way we could improve this. Like I said, this initial implementation, I never really took into account playing and loading, like saving and loading from a single map that you've never navigated through a bunch of other ones that has triggered this value to be changed from none. So all of my design there was around specifically, okay, you've launched the game, it loads the main menu. So current level is going to be set to main menu. Well, within main menu, you set up a new game, launch a new game, and it's going to load that level. Or you're loading from a save game. Well, that save game stores that level. It's where we're pulling it out and applying it. And so I'm going to hit 9 here and just see if... No. Helps if I hit play an editor first. Okay, we're playing editor, hit 9. Okay, what is currently loaded level set to? That's calling get current our own function. Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay, we're down here. Get current level. Get level. Maybe it's that one. You take an input. Let's see what that does. And this is honestly a lot of what I'll say is unexperienced game development. Because this is what I do a lot of my time. And was this going to work? No, that didn't work. Okay, does this work? No, that didn't work. Especially when you're exploring a new area that you're not familiar with the code. Like you'll notice there's some areas over the series where I'm confident I've done the work a dozen, 24 times with them, however many times I've restarted this particular project. But then you get areas like this where I'm not as familiar, or I'm not familiar at all in some cases, and I'm having to sort of trial and error. So it is none, and then that becomes none. Okay. Is that okay? We'll continue. That should hop us into the blueprint. Currently loaded level still says persistent level. Level to load is none. Oh, maybe we got a different issue here. That might be from the save. Yeah, that would be the save game because that didn't have that value. So we're going to hit save. It's still setting it to none. All right, so this is where I was mentioning last episode that there is potentially some problems that we're not going to be able to fix. And this is one, as much as I want to try and fix it, I also don't want to spend a ton of time on this because it's a fringe case. And there's other ways we can deal with this. So instead of bashing my head into the wall on this, there's something else I figured we could do. So we're going to go over to Treebase. What we're going to do here is update from save implementation. Well, our Treebase, if we go to its header file quickly, is derived from tfactor. So if we go to tfactor, you can see update from save implementation override. If we go into its source file here, nope, actor, not Treebase, it's empty. So what I want to do here is we're going to call back to this in our Treebase as part of this, and we're going to say execute the code that's in the parent function and then execute set harvest state. There is, bear with me, I got to try and find it. I was not expecting to have to deal with that today. UE5 C++ reset actor to default. Yeah, this is what I was, get class defaults. So, get class defaults. No, that doesn't exist anymore. Okay, so that wasn't what I want, but I'm trying to think. So I know there's a way to do it. I've done it in the past. It's just been a while since I've used it. Static class. Helps if I use the right characters there. No. Is it there? No. How did I do this last time? I'm trying to remember now. Okay, so I'm sitting here in silence reading a page. So that isn't actually what I wanted to do. So I'm going to scrap that. And this is some of the other things you're going to run across as you're programming. I run into these sort of issues periodically in my day job where I'm like, oh, that should work. Why isn't it working? Why can't I do that? Yeah. Yeah, that's... The other thing you could do then is, and this is... It's going to be a workaround. I'm going to add in to our TF actor base a virtual... Actually, I want this to be protected, not public. Virtual void reset to default. And in the TF actor, we're just going to create the definition and leave it blank. And in here, this is where we can do that. So we're going to go reset to... I just created it. Not rest to... Wow. My ability to type today is completely gone. Rest to default. Reset to default. So we've got that in there now. Reset to default. We are just going to call reset to default. And this is still going to achieve what we wanted there. We're going to grab this, throw that back into our tree base here that I was just thinking about, like what I was trying to do. And then we're going to add in reset the default override. So virtual void reset to default override. So we want that to override the child or the parent function. I'm trying to think how to do this now. We've destroyed this component. No, that's not even that's not going to work. Because I was just thinking we've destroyed the component. Actually, no, let's see if we can... No, because that only works in constructor. Yeah, no, as much as I want to try and fix this, I don't think with the way the save game logic is set up, this is going to work, because I was just thinking we could just like go like this. Where's reset? But the problem is this is only valid in the initial construction when things are done. Yeah, I honestly, at this point, I'm a little perplexed and stumped on how I would want to fix this situation. And the problem is this is all coming about because of a fringe case from using play in editor versus... So I'm just undoing what I've done here. Let's make sure, update from save, set harvest state. So this is all a fringe case that's coming about from how... I wanted to keep protected in there. Play in editor works, and it's not... We're not correctly setting the currently loaded level. So let's get rid of this because we don't want that. And make sure I got everything there. Reset the default is gone. Reset the default. We're going to remove. Yeah, so honestly, I'm not sure if there's a valid way we could fix this. The reason being is both, like I said, it's a combination of the fact that the way the load game logic has been constructed, it is not intended to work with a play-in editor launching from a single level. It's intended to have the normal, you launch from the persistent map, which loads in the main menu at the start of the game when you launch actually launch the application. And then from there, it has a value for the currently loaded level. Because the whole purpose and why I was trying to fix this is in here, in our load game logic, this right here is intended to reset the currently loaded level. Now, thinking about that, actually, this is being done in a backwards order. Sorry, yeah, no, I'm just looking over this. This code is set up differently. This was done to remove any... That's not needed because we're resetting it. Everything's in the save game. So just to explain, sorry, as I'm sitting here rabbiting on to myself, answering questions in my own head. So the way this was set up initially is we're clearing out all of the currently stored savable actor information. We're loading the game from slot. We are pulling out that saved actor information. We're pulling out the player data. We are pulling out the currently loaded level. We are pulling out our game configuration information. We are saying load up this level. And the whole purpose for this is, though right now, in theory, technically there's only one map that you save in, you could have multiple different maps. And that's what this logic is for, is to account for multiple different maps. Well, right here, what this is doing is it's going through all the currently loaded actors that were spawned and deleted. Well, we've returned the level to default. They're not there. So this portion isn't needed. So I'm actually just going to comment that out. And I'm going to leave a note for myself. Review as this is not needed due to having just reloaded base level. So this I had added in was to clear out any spawned actors. So that's if, say, the player had placed something, or you've got a game where things turn into zombies after they're bitten and you spawn in a zombie as a representation, things like that. Well, this isn't needed because what we're doing here is we're going through every actor in the world. We're seeing, well, do they have the save interface? If they do have the save interface, can we access that save interface? Okay, we can access the save interface. Was it a spawned actor? Then get rid of it because we don't want it to be there. It's not part of the default settings. Well, this isn't needed. We've purged the default settings already. Restored everything to default as part of this load level. And then down here, we're going through and checking, okay, for everything in our save data, if it was spawned, let's put it into the world, because then we're going to iterate everything and reset all of its information based on the load game. So ultimately, me trying to fix this bug that One Mad Gamer found has actually helped improve our code, because this is wasted cycles. Great in a small world like the third-person test map we're using, there's very few actors that we have to worry about. I think it was like it totaled 15 when we were saving. That this would iterate, well, actually it would be more than 15, but there's 15 actors at this point that it's going to be iterating through. In here, there could be 500. It's whatever's in your outliner. So we don't need this. So that's why I'm going to comment this out and just leave that in their review, as this is not needed due to having just reloaded level. And this is something else. Like I'll take this episode as sort of a teach you a few things that aren't code, or give you advice on a few things that aren't code. You're going to also come across times when you've done this yourself, and you're going to sit back, look at the code, and think to yourself, why did I write that? Which is exactly what I'm doing right now in my head. I'm like, why did I write this? This doesn't make sense. But at the time when this was written, everything was also only being done in the third-person map. And this fixed problems in the third-person map if things were spawned. This is getting rid of the logs that spawned from the tree. This gets rid of them because they were spawned actors. That's why this was added in, because, it's working here. But then coming back to this later on, well, this isn't working the way intended. It's working because it's fixing a problem in a map that's not going to be there under normal circumstances. So, yeah, it's one of those weird things. So what I'm going to do between episodes for the next episode, because I want to end this off with a demonstration, because things aren't really demonstratable. I can't really demonstrate things properly with the way things are set up right now using that third-person test map. So I'm going to go through between episodes. I'm going to take our dev map, which is that really basic like crater that I created. There's nothing in there right now. I'm going to add some content to it that we can save. And then I'll work through and step through this whole load game process in various different ways so that we can look and actually, and I can prove that this load game logic is working as it's meant to. Because right now, honestly, I have my own doubts about how this is working. So, but with that, folks, I'm actually going to end this here. It's a slightly shorter episode. I don't want to drag this on longer than it needs to be just because I'm trying to find something to fill the time. So I'm going to end things here. Next episode will be I don't want to call it a showcase, but it'll be a demonstration of the load game logic, just because, like I said, right now, these problems are making me question myself. And that is going to happen. For anyone writing code, you're going to be like, oh my God, why did I do this? Does this even actually work? And that's what the next episode is going to be. It's going to be proving both to myself and to all of you that this load game logic works. And if it doesn't, fixing it. And that is the most important thing. So, as always though, folks, thank you for watching this episode. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. Or hop over on a Discord. I've been answering a few more questions there lately. So if you want to hop on there, feel free. But as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.